And actually, I hadn't thought about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, what do you want to do first? Do you want to do
Well, I assumed we were going to do
the intro, or do you want to just get straight into it?
That's up to you. I don't mind.
Because I'm already recording.
Hadn't thought about it, but I hadn't said anything controversial, so it's not a problem, is it?
Pity.
Yeah. You didn't bait me enough. You were edging.
You're
You were edging
onto me.
around it.
You're onto me.
I was onto you, and I don't mean to be onto you because I like being tricked, but I can't help but look out for it. And yeah.
You like being tricked?
Yeah, it's fun.
Look out behind you.
Santa Claus! Grant, how did you know? Grant's just brought Santa Claus in.
We are back. Welcome back, everybody. If you if this is your first time to the podcast,
If it's your first time, I'm so sorry.
If you can,
hang in there. Just hang in. Oh, sorry.
If it's your first time, go back and listen to what's your favourite one been so far? I know mine.
I would have to have a good... No, seriously, I've not thought about which is my favourite. I'd have absolutely no idea.
I think, hang on, definitely would have to be the Spice Girls. I loved that one. I also really, really liked early on in the piece we did Every Breath You Take. I thought...
Yeah, that was good. I think still a favourite for me would be our very first episode, 500 Miles, just because it was kind of novel.
Well, that was
and it's probably one of our worst episodes, maybe, but...
Well, sound quality
I enjoyed doing it.
Sound quality wise, it is, because I hadn't figured out how to work all the machines yet. See that machine there? I didn't even know.
The pink one?
Yeah, I didn't even know that existed.
Why is it pink?
I thought it was yours.
What does it do?
Sits on the table and vibrates.
Yeah, I didn't want to ask you about what that was. Yeah. Why have you got a big weird pink thing sitting on you? And that shape.
I just thought it was yours.
No. Is it Gaynor's? Is it like your wife's?
No.
No? So what do we do? Are we being invaded?
Hang on a sec, I'll figure it out. Welcome back to another episode of But I Won't Do That, a weekly-ish podcast where I, Grant Mullen, and my good friends,
both of us, John and Menezies.
Oh, you know what? It's such a tongue twister to say. I used to have it written down on a post-it note, and I'd read it word for word off the post-it note, and then I got all cocky, and I tell you what, if you don't know what podcast you're on, bad luck. Okay, yeah. This is welcome back everybody to Crime Junkie.
This is the podcast. You know the intro. Just run it through your own head quickly.
Yeah.
Here we are.
Hello. Can you actually try and do it?
I would have no idea.
Welcome back everybody this week to But I Won't Do That, a weekly-ish podcast.
Welcome everybody But I Won't Do That, a weekly-ish podcast hosted by myself, John Menezies, and my really awesome friend Grant Mullen. We've recently got back together to basically go out and race cars through the desert. And we're going to dump the podcast and we're going to go hang out with Mick Jagger and models. And we're going to drink too much and we're going to take drugs and we're going to... Oh, sorry. I read the wrong intro. I read the wrong intro.
This is why you're not supposed to carry around your Rent-A-Gent profile with you everywhere you go.
Grant, I think the moral of the story is you do the intro because I can't, evidently I can't.
Welcome back everybody to But I Won't Do That, a weekly podcast where I, Grant Mullen, and my good friend John Menezies rip into some song lyrics and potentially ruin them or make them heaps better for you forever. And this week, John, we've got an Australian iconic song.
Fantastic.
By a band named after a swimming stroke, or was it a swimming stroke named after a band? Australian Crawl.
Is there an Australian crawl as opposed to a front crawl?
No, the Australian Crawl is freestyle. Freestyle swimming is known as the Australian Crawl.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've never heard of that before.
What?
It's not like Auslan. Australian Sign Language. How can you have an Australian swimming style?
Oh my gosh.
Is it similar to Italian crawl? Is Italian crawl a bit different because you have to hold pizza?
No, Italian Crawl is basically crawling along on your belly, waving a white flag and surrendering.
Oh, we're getting political now, are we?
I don't know. I thought that was quite a highbrow joke, actually. Australian Crawl swimming. Here we go. The front crawl or forward crawl, also known as the Australian crawl or American crawl, is a swimming stroke usually regarded as the fastest of the 4 swimming styles.
I just knew it as... You see, back when I was brought up in the backwaters of the old country in England, it was just called front crawl.
A crawl in which the
British
swimmer
crawl.
kicks twice with one leg for each stroke of the opposite arm.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I thought that was called... Yeah, now, imagine that in a dark alley and you're being dragged along by your hair and you kick twice with one leg for each stroke of the opposite arm. That's just called trying to escape.
That's trying to fight back. That's just trying to fight back.
Yeah. So there you go.
Australian crawl.
So you never knew about...
I'd never heard of it called Australian crawl.
Wowzers, trousers.
I knew it as front crawl.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
I'm amazed the Australians took it on board, made absolutely no changes whatsoever, and just renamed it Australian crawl when it's actually exactly the same as every other country in the world crawl.
Well, so you know Ford Motor Company.
Okay, that's a tangent, but yeah, I know them.
Ford Motor Company.
Yeah.
Do you know there was... So in Australia it was called Ford Australia.
Yeah.
So, and they it's still American. So like we just do that. You know, we stole the pavlova from the New Zealanders who stole it from a ballet dancer.
That's true.
New Zealand invented almost everything good in Australia.
Are you saying white Australians steal things? Quite a lot of things.
We
Maybe a couple of hundred years ago.
We might
have done.
I can't even ask you.
But you people, yeah.
My family tree has been done by some of my aunts.
Mm-hmm.
And on Dad's side, I think Dad's mum's side, maybe. I can't remember. But my Uncle Steve was telling me about it. He said that one part of that family, so a couple of generations ago, 100 so years ago, used to say that they came to Australia on a holiday.
Yeah.
But we found out after doing the whole family tree thing that they were, actually convicts. And
there's nothing wrong with that. A lot of Australians are nowadays... I was worried you were going to say Nazis. That's what I thought you were going.
Oh, gosh. Can we just
John, just so you know, I have a family history of Nazis.
Can we just look, we said we wouldn't talk about this.
Don't talk about the
You
Nazis.
said we wouldn't talk about this, and now it's on the podcastings.
It's on the table, my friend. You cannot do a thing about it. Once the Nazi word gets out, it's one of those things.
I have a friend, her name is Jennifer, and she's a party pooper.
Party pooper?
I know. I
cannot believe it.
I
Jennifer.
know. Yes. Why does she poop at the parties? Is she thinking that she maybe goes there to find the water closet and cannot, and then she poops at the party?
Well, maybe so. It seems like
Why
it.
is she doing this?
I don't know. Where the hell this is going? We're just talking in German about Jennifer pooping. I mean, what the hell?
Why does she poop at... Anyway. Australian crawl is how we got there. So John and I were talking, as we do a little bit earlier before we get into this song, one of the, we just want to ask you guys what you think. We want to do a podcast that goes for about 4 or 5 hours. And
we giggle about it every time we say it.
Yeah, we want to just sit in a room together and have quite a few drinks and just talk a whole lot of garbage and record it. So we want to know what you think, if you'd like to hear us do a quote-unquote special episode where it's just me and John riffing on a whole heap of stuff. It doesn't have to be song lyrics. We could talk about a whole bunch of stuff.
Look, it would probably go anywhere. I'm sure songs will be involved.
We will be very deliberate about having a song basis to it, but just as a special episode to maybe celebrate our 20th or 25th or 30th podcast episode, something like that, 50th, 100th, whatever. So yeah, give us your feedback. What do you think? Put it in the Facebook group. We'd love you to be more active in the Facebook group. So tell us what you think. Tell us what you like. But right now, we're going to talk about Reckless. James Rain, Australian Crawl. So basically, the way I'm thinking about this, because this song was... Actually, I remember buying the 45 RPM record of this song.
Vinyl.
On
I
vinyl.
remember buying vinyl.
I still have it. I have it in that cupboard just there. I'll show it to you after. Yeah.
Probably move on.
Yeah. What? No, why?
Move on.
No, vinyl's bad,
I know,
baby.
I was joking. Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm so glad I kept all my vinyl.
I wish I did. I left mine in the attic when I was a teenager when I moved to Australia. And
Was that when you lived with Anne Frank?
I did live with Anne Frank for a while.
Yeah.
Very annoying. She just left scrunched up tea towels everywhere. Terrible girl.
That's terrible.
But yeah, I left all my Queen vinyl in a roof. Along with air rifles, teenage boy stuff.
Wow.
And Mum left.
And you left your mum in the attic?
I left my mummy in the attic as well. I hope she's all right.
Well,
I hope she's all right. I don't think that was like 30
she'll be fine. She'll be fine. She'll be fine.
She's been adopted by family.
She's been through worse, your mum.
Yeah, she has.
Yeah,
she has been through worse. I can't think what, but
No, she had you.
She did have me. You know what? I was her firstborn as well.
And you're 6 foot tall. That would have hurt.
My poor mother.
Yeah.
Is all I can say.
She would not look like the front cover of that album that we just looked at a moment ago.
For
Australian Crawl.
Yeah, for Australian. It was a very nice album cover.
We don't know what the other half of that person looks like.
That's true. Maybe it was only that part of her that was gorgeous.
Do you know what we're doing here?
What are we doing?
Visual gags again on a bloody podcast.
We can't do that.
Pack of idiots. So this song, the reason I say I remember buying it, because I remember sitting on a bus back in I think I must have been in grade 10, grade 11 or something like that in high school, maybe grade 9, and I was reading the lyrics back then, so because the guy who sings it, James Ray, and he's got, he doesn't articulate very well through the song, so this might be the first time you've actually heard the lyrics properly to this song if you're listening to it, and let's just jump into it. So I'd like to think that because it was so long ago, there was no mobile phones.
So when was this song from? The 80s?
Yeah, I think it's...
safely 80s?
Yeah, it's definitely the 80s. I might be able to actually find that here because I just had it up on iTunes.
Careful, you become a music historian.
I know, I don't want to.
People point their finger and say, there goes the music historian. If you start throwing facts out.
I just started playing the song. Oops. No, can't say. 80s. Just something
80s. 80s is safe.
Yeah, let's say...
And if we're wrong...
Let's say 80...
We're right.
87, something
okay,
like that.
That's
right?
fine by me.
So it was one of the 80s years that didn't really matter. 86,
Yeah.
87. They were like 84. Whoa! 84 was
remember
awesome.
84.
86, 87.
I don't even remember them. Don't even know what
I
happened.
remember 86, 87. I think I was traumatized from just being a teenager during that time.
It was a tough time.
Do you know what I do remember? Oh, you might not have had this. Were you in Australia by then? Like around that time? You were
for me it was about 1991.
91. Wow, I was at TAFE.
90 or 91.
I was at TAFE with Kelly J. Townsend.
Oh, well, there you go.
Doing art.
Yeah.
Do you remember Topex?
No.
It was a pimple cream. Like you put it on your pimples.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Topex. And it was basically just hydrogen peroxide that you put on your pimples to dry them out. Anyway, Gaynor and I were just talking about Topex this morning because I had a, okay, embarrassingly, I had a pimple on my back.
Yeah.
Ow, it's still there actually.
Ooh.
Adult pimples.
That's me.
They're yucky.
Yes,
Do you want to pop it for me? Do you like popping? Do you like popping pimples?
I'll pop my own or pop a gorgeous woman's pimples, but anyone else, no. And
so you don't want...
turns out you're not a gorgeous woman, so no, I'll be going nowhere near your pimples.
But hang on a minute, there's something you don't know.
Oh my goodness, you're a gorgeous woman! I'll pop your pimples!
Hi, John. My name's Brooke Ann, and I'm a gorgeous woman.
You sound really gorgeous too.
Thank
I'm a bit
you.
scared, to be honest.
Something's
wrong.
Why do you come over here and sit on my lap?
I feel violated.
That was my tranny voice.
You're tranny? Oh, I don't think you can say portable radio anymore.
You can't?
You can't talk about portable radios.
Really?
Yeah, you can't say tranny.
Anyway, speaking of which, if you're just tuning in, hello and welcome back to the podcast. So I think this was written down at the time before you could just quickly text people and say where to catch up.
Absolutely. So, it was the time where you had to call, you had to pick up a phone which had a wire, and there was a dial, and you had to pick it up, and you had to say, you had to talk to someone's mum.
Yeah.
You had to get past the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
Is Grant there? Okay, hold on. And the phone would sit down, and back in the day.
That was the early days of my dating life with my wife. I'd ring and say 59712, and I'd always listen for the little. If it was her mum, if it was Gaynor's mum, hello, great.
Yep.
If it was her dad, hello. Oh no. Hello, Mr. Firth. It's Grant here. is Gaynor there? No small talk, nothing. Gaynor!
Yeah.
If it was Jean, my lovely mother-in-law, who's amazing. How are you, Grant?
Oh, you'd have a little chat.
Have you had a nice day?
I never had chats.
I was Tiff.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's lovely, my mother-in-law. My father-in-law, I'm pretty sure he just put the Yorkshire accent on even thicker than he needed to, just so
Just
I
to
didn't understand.
throw you.
Yeah, just to throw me.
I used to have the same thing. I used to call a girl called Lindsay and have to get through the gatekeepers, brother or a sister, mum or a dad.
Yeah.
And then they'd put the phone down. I think, what is she doing? You'd sit on the phone for 3 minutes, just waiting.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, and just a chat to a pretty girl.
Yeah.
Can you believe it?
Well, it worked for me. I put the hard work in, and we're still going. So anyway, back then, I'd like to think that this was a phone call, but he got the voicemail, the answering machine, and he had to leave a long message on the answering machine. And I don't know about you, but if ever I have to leave a message on an answering machine, I get a bit tongue-tied and I don't know what to say.
Absolutely.
So James Rain has called someone up and he's leaving a voice message on an answering machine in the 80s, and it turned into this song, and here's how it goes.
So that's a real story?
This. What? No. Yes. No, yes.
Yes.
I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if you're trying to lead me into a gag.
Let's just move it. All right.
Were you trying to set up a gag? Because I don't know whether you're actually asking me.
No, I thought you'd gone down a genuine path of facts about
not at
the
all.
song, and I was like,
not at all.
Wait, is it real?
No, not at all.
Right.
Not at all.
So anyway, he's leaving an answering machine message. That's where we'll leave it. All right.
So was I that convincing?
Yes.
That's amazing.
I was just listening to you, going, all right, yeah, I'll wait for him to start talking about the song, and we'll get into it.
It's like a boring history show about it. No.
Because I was just sitting there thinking, but we aren't music historians.
Why is Grant going down this road? So anyway, all he really wanted to do was to say, here's where we're meeting, here's what time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But here's what he actually said.
So James Rain has called a girl he likes.
Yeah.
He's leaving a message on the answering machine. That's where we're at. All right, let's rock and roll.
So you're listening. You're the girl listening to it later.
I'm the girl.
Yeah. Well,
all right. I always play the girl. Why do you always get me to play? No, you know what? I kind of like it. It's fine.
So maybe James Rain.
I'm not going to put a voice on though.
No.
Yeah.
No, you don't have to. Okay, so you're listening to the message. I'll read it. So meet me down by the jetty landing.
You know what? That makes perfect sense. I know where the jetty landing is. Meet. Done. Bingo.
Where the pontoons bump and spray.
You know what? There are pontoons down there. They do bump and there is spray of the ocean. Story checks out.
All the others reading, standing.
Wait, what others?
As the Manly Ferry cuts its way to Circular Quay.
Oh, so they're reading and standing on the Manly Ferry where the jetty land. Right, okay, got it, okay.
So you're pretty clear on where to meet at this stage?
Yeah, down by the jetty landing. You know, where the pontoons bump and spray.
Okay, so you know exactly where to be.
Exactly, because the pontoons will be bumping and spraying like a mofo.
Okay, hear the captain blow his whistle.
Okay, look, story checks out so far. I have absolutely no issues with this message on the answering machine so far.
So long she's been away.
Who?
What?
Me? As the woman, when is so long?
I don't know. You're listening. I want to hear what you're.
Well, this is really abstract. I'm thinking he's seeing another woman now.
Yeah, well,
because he didn't. So it's not so long you've been away. So long she's been away.
So you know when you just want to go, hey, g'day John, it's me, Grant. I just wanted to, just let you know that I'll be 10 minutes late because when I was on my way here, oh look, I've just seen a kangaroo going past. Oh my gosh, look at that! Oh, sorry, mate. I'm just sorry to leave you such a long message. You know when you do those sort of.
You reckon it was a bit of a distraction message? He's just made a simple mistake.
He's just doing one of those things.
Yeah,
right?
Well, you know what? Fair, absolutely fair enough. All right.
I'll carry it. I miss our early morning wrestle.
Wait, what? Are we doing MMA?
I think...
Or is that a euphemism for a morning wrestle is a bit of a euphemism for something else?
A euphemism for what, though? What could it possibly be a euphemism for?
That two adults might do early morning wrestling, sort of.
Okay, so if you're a young person and listening to this, sometimes when mummy and daddy are loving each other very much, he puts tab A into slot A and makes a really scary gorilla mask. You meaning that kind of early morning wrestle?
I don't know. I'm a bit baffled.
I was using a euphemism for a euphemism. I think I was using a plagiarism, actually.
Probably. But you know what? I remember Mum saying, look, you kids, go downstairs,
Yeah.
go watch TV, because me and your stepdad have to wrestle.
And then
you know what
and you hear this.
Seconds away, round one. No, hold on, that's boxing. Yeah, my mum and my stepdad used to box. That was their hobby.
Every morning, they just get up and punch the shit out of each other.
And the police would come over and say to my stepdad, why do you beat your wife? Why do you beat your wife? And you say, well, I'm just stronger and got a better reach. Sorry, that's a horrible joke.
So you go down the stairs and you hear... At the end of the bed...
Ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, where are we in the song?
I miss our early morning wrestle. So you're listening still to this voicemail. So maybe, maybe he thought he's hung up. So he's done the first, meet me down by the jetty landing where the pontoons bum us away. And he thought he's hung up, but he hasn't hung up. And she can hear the rest of this on the recording of the conversation.
Yeah. So you think he's just turning the corner?
Maybe, I don't know. Because
so you feel he might be saying to someone else,
Yeah.
I miss our early morning wrestle.
not a very happy way to start the day. So maybe it's not what we think it is.
Well, if having I know we joked about it, but I know an early morning wrestle could be a euphemism for sexual activity. That I imagine that would be a happy way to start.
I imagine
the
it
day.
would be a
so
very.
why is it now not a very happy? Maybe it is a genuine
Maybe it's
wrestle.
an actual wrestle, like
Maybe
he's been put in
worried
a
about
sleep
getting elbowed in the head first thing in the morning.
Yeah,
Whoa, this is violent.
I know, and if you listen to it, it's such a chilled song. It's like boom, 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 like it's like a really relaxing sort of song. So I just don't know what's going on.
He sounds strained when he's singing it.
Yeah. Not a very happy way to start the day.
It's like he's almost going to cry.
It's like he's just had a chuff.
I miss our early morning wrestle. Like, what's that? It doesn't sound like you miss it at all. It sounds terrible.
I absolutely want to record your face one day when you sing, when you do impersonation singing.
Yeah. I do. I pull faces, and I don't think about the face I'm pulling. I'm trying to get the sound, and I do not think about my face, so it probably looks horrible.
It's a perfect face for a podcast.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. All right, that's good.
So if she don't like that kind of behaviour,
Wait, what?
maybe she don't like the early morning wrestles.
Oh, okay.
She don't like that kind of
It's
behaviour.
a pretty weird way to say it. She don't like that kind of
She don't like that kind of behaviour.
She don't like it.
Is that
Kind of behaviour, she don't like it at all.
It's like Hagrid talking to Harry Potter about Hermione.
And then he says to
Harry, she don't like that kind of behaviour.
us, what?
You're a wrestler, Harry, and a damn good one. So,
But they say it twice.
because he likes to really drive that point home.
She
She
don't like that kind of behaviour.
not in those shoes, sunshine. She don't like that kind of behaviour.
Because it's not a very happy way to start the day, is it?
So throw down your guns.
Wait, what?
Yep.
Who's got guns?
Right? You're listening in on this like conversation that's on a.
But I don't have guns.
but
I've got
he's-
this message
Yeah.
accusing me, saying that she don't like that
So
kind of behaviour.
maybe
and throw
what-
down my guns.
I think what's happening, right? So he's in a phone box. He starts to leave the message, meet me down by the jetty land, right? And then he's talking to someone on the street. Then someone comes along in the phone box to try and rob him.
Oh.
Yeah.
And if that is the case, to say to that person, throw down your guns.
Yeah, don't be so
Confidence.
reckless. Don't be so reckless.
Don't be so reckless.
No, but then again,
He's really got his stuff together, hasn't he?
Yeah.
If he's being robbed in
Yeah.
this moment, that's really good thought.
well, it's better than throwing punches.
Yeah.
Even though he has been practicing wrestling. You know.
He has been practicing. Well, wrestling against somebody with a gun isn't going to help.
It's not
Maybe
smart.
the wrestling has given him confidence, a level of confidence, like martial arts.
And a confident
to
man-
diffuse the situation.
A confident man is often a handsome man.
So you're saying that he's a handsome man?
Yeah, well, that's obviously why he's been picked on so much. You must know what it's like.
I have to ask people to throw down their guns all the time.
You do?
Yeah. Throw down your guns, bro.
John,
I can't help being this handsome. Throw down your guns.
don't be so...
Reckless. Yeah.
Feel like Scott of the Antarctic.
Wait, what? Cold? Why is he cold?
I didn't know...
Is Scott the one who went off for a walk and said, I'll be quite some time, I might be some time, and then just disappeared?
Was he?
I feel like Scott of the Antarctic. I'm dead and frozen.
Scott of the Antarctic.
I feel like Scott of the Antarctic, just dead. Or
Captain Robert Falcon Scott, CVO, was a British Royal Naval officer and explorer who led 2 expeditions to the Antarctic region. Did they ever find him? Scott died shortly afterwards. So no, he's dead. So I feel
Scott, cold and dead.
So yeah, I feel like Scott of the Antarctic, cold and dead. Base camp too far away is the next line.
Cold, which is so obviously I can't get. You know what? I'm freezing to death. I can't get back to my base camp. I understand where he's at. You know?
So it's a really, really specific sort of way of describing something, isn't it? Like. Yeah, so we're leading into winter at the time of this recording now in Tasmania.
Yes.
And can you imagine, like, you're at work, do you work outdoors or indoors?
A little bit of both, mainly indoors, but it's in a massive cold steel shed.
So you're in a cold steel shed, smoko comes, right?
Yes,
and
I'm familiar with the concept.
You're working with the blokes, and they're like, how you going out there, John? And you say to them...
I feel like Scott of the Antarctic.
And their reply is, what, base camp too far away?
Yeah, pretty much. Actually, you know what? That would be a good comeback.
It really
if you're in
would.
a workplace and you came up with that line.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like Scott of the Antarctic. I'm,
dead.
Dead. What? Base camp too far away? That's actually a joke. That's a cool joke in here.
It is. I don't know whether he was going for the joke, but he certainly got a joke. Here we go. A Russian sun beneath the Arctic.
Beneath the Arctic?
Yep. So
that's going to melt the snow cap.
So, hang on.
Or behind the horizon?
Well, it depends. Are we flat earthers in this one, or are we round earthers?
I'd like to believe we're round earthers.
We're round earthers.
I mean, I'm open to all sorts of lunacy.
Yeah.
But I prefer a round earth.
As far as idiots go, flat earthers are definitely up there.
Right up there.
Yeah.
But you can find flat earthers all around the globe, according to the website.
Yeah, never back them into a... Oh, no, that's not a joke, is it?
Sorry. Actually, I was going to apologise to flat earthers, but now I'm not.
Nah, screw them.
Yeah.
Screw 'em. Honestly, though.
So a Russian...
Do you know it? Do you know
Russian
any...
sun as opposed to, what, a Chinese sun? Or an Indian sun? Or a USA sun?
Well...
Daniel sun?
So far as the this song goes, there is the Russian sun, but the Australians took it, and they now call it the Australian sun. Oh, did everyone hear my dog? Did everyone hear my dog just whack his ears around his head? Then I'm pretty sure the microphone would have picked that up. That was Murphy.
That's Murphy.
So yeah, so you remember like the Australian crawl?
Yes.
And we took that from the front crawl or the crawl.
Yes.
The Russian sun we took as well and called it the Australian sun.
You know what? I'm beginning to see a pattern, and as an Australian, I like it.
Thank you.
Just take stuff, put Australian at the beginning.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good stuff.
Have you ever had Australian eggs?
Australian eggs?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I've had eggs from Australian chickens, but is Australian eggs a specific way of
sunny side up. Australian sunny side up. Not Russian sunny side up, but Australian sunny side up.
Well, I don't want Russian sunny side up.
No, you have to add vodka.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So a Russian sun...
Remember that when I was a spy. Russian eggs. Ugh.
What, you had to eat them in a hurry? Is
that
why you're
Russian?
Russian? Yeah, Russian eggs.
Yeah, because you had to fit in with the Russians.
Yeah.
So you had to eat Russian eggs.
Yeah, okay.
It was a regular thing.
You had to eat rush and eggs, or you had to...
Both.
Yeah, okay.
We had to eat Russian eggs in a rush.
Wow.
And eggs. We had to carry eggs with us as well as the dried dog turds. We had cartons of eggs as well, because that was currency back in the old USSR.
Were they dried dog's eggs?
Yes, they were dry dog's eggs.
And now it's come full circle.
Brilliant.
So, a Russian sun beneath the Arctic. You're still listening to the voicemail message, though.
Yes, absolutely.
Burke and Wheels and Camels.
Burke and Wheels and Camels?
Burke and Wheels and Camels.
Burke and Wheels and
Wheels and Camels. Burke Burke, Wills and Camels. Burke, Wills and Camels. Burke, Wills and Camels.
Burke and Will. I mean, I know they were Australian explorers.
Yep.
And they had camels.
So there's a fair bit of exploration going on, exposition in this.
So they're discovering Australia. This is brilliant.
Yeah, initials in the tray, which is actually
I'm glad this is being left as a message on a phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I'm reminded. As a lady, I'm glad I'm reminded of Burke and Wills, who traversed Australia with camels. Like, I'm sure I'm really wanting to know about that.
So in this day and age, I think the sensible thing to do, if you're listening to this, hang up, call 000, because at this stage, it's James Raine is having a stroke and obviously talking complete nonsense. So James is having a stroke, call a bongulance. Mm-hmm. He's definitely in need of medical assistance, I think, at this stage. Because he's going, I feel like Scott of the Antarctic. So he's feeling cold.
Yeah.
Base camp too far away. He's obviously losing his vision.
Yeah.
Russian sun beneath the Arctic. He's seeing things.
Yes.
Burke and Wills and Camels. Burke and Wills and Camels.
Yeah.
Initials on the tree. He's trying to give her a hint as to where he is. We already know that he's somewhere down towards the jetty landing. He can hear the Manly ferry. It's blowing its whistle. She should be sending an ambulance instead of holding a gun.
You know what? That would be a much better response, wouldn't it? So as the woman listening to the recording, have I got a gun?
Yeah.
And he's basically calling, pleading, I feel terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, but...
She don't like that kind of behaviour.
I'm sorry, what?
She don't like that kind of behaviour.
Oh, thanks, I'm glad you said it again.
So
What?
throw down your guns.
Already thrown down, mate. Already thrown down.
Don't
They're on
be
the ground
so-
over there. See that pile? There's a pile of guns.
Oh my gosh. That wasn't
Yeah.
even there a second ago.
I threw my guns down.
Why are we both...
From when you asked earlier.
Do you like
asked
how-
me earlier, and now you're asking me again. I can't throw any more guns down. This isn't Mad Max 3.
Do you like how we both, like, acted that out? Like, we both...
We both looked at a place on the We looked at a place on the floor where I just cast my guns down a few minutes ago. And I was saying, my guns. And you looked.
So that is Reckless by Australian Crawl. How they went on to be a popular band after that, I'll never know.
It's a pretty good song. They just go on with the same lyrics after that anyway.
They do.
So
They do. They reinforce their
Yeah.
point more times than is needed. But so that's our podcast for this week. If you have enjoyed this podcast, please do remember to share it with your friends because sharing is caring. And John, you know what time it is right now?
Is it time for the theme song? I do have one last thing to say.
You can say it.
Remember, I love you.
Too late. I played the theme song.
Хорошо живет на свете гений, ух, оттого поет он эти песни вслух. И не важно, чем он занят, если он толстеть не станет.